My name is Chris Hauser, and I am the Dean of Science here at the University of Windsor, and I would like to thank you for joining us in this exciting moment, the opening of the Essex Centre of Research, otherwise known as Essex Core. As we open this new building, it's important to recognize that our campus sits on the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwa, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. There are few places on earth that someone before us has not called home. I would like to start by welcoming the Honourable Kirsty Duncan, Minister for Science and Sport, and thanking her for joining us today. I would also like to recognize Brian Massey, the representative for Windsor West for federally, and Lisa Gretzky, the provincial representative for Windsor West. Essex Core is an important investment in the Windsor-Essex region. This state-of-the-art building provides important space for faculty, staff, and students conducting research in medical physics, translational health, and advanced materials chemistry. The core labs are a space where faculty and students are developing a backpack MRI for remote communities here and abroad, making cancer history through the study of cell growth, cell survival, and disease progression, discovering how organic polymers can be used to create green and sustainable electronics, and pioneering the development of stretchable and wearable devices. Essex Core also includes new incubator space to allow industry an opportunity to work with our faculty and students. We hope that the Core Incubator Labs will bring new industries to the Windsor-Essex region and that science at Windsor becomes an economic driver for the region. The building and the state-of-the-art labs were made possible through funding from the Government of Canada, the Province of Ontario, and the University of Windsor. And on behalf of the Faculty of Science, I would like to thank you for the investment in science at Windsor. Our first speaker today is the Honourable Kirsty Duncan, Minister for Science and Sport. Minister Duncan is the Member of Parliament for the riding of Etobicoke North and was appointed Minister of Science in 2015 and the Minister of Sport and Persons with Disabilities in 2018. A medical geographer with research interest in the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, Minister Duncan taught meteorology, climatology, and climate change here at the University of Windsor before moving to the University of Toronto, her alma mater. As Science Minister, she's established the position of Chief Science Officer, strengthened federal investment in science and research to foster innovation that drives our economy, and she has made equity, diversity, and inclusion in science a top priority to drive research excellence, innovation, and creativity. Please join me in welcoming Honourable Kirsty Duncan, Minister of Science and Sport, to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, friends, my honorable colleague, Brian Massey, Lisa Gretzky, President, faculty, students, and I get to say friends and family. It is so great to be back on campus. And I mean friends and family. I'm really happy to be here today. This is a beautiful building. I cannot wait to see the labs. It's wonderful to hear the research that will be taking place. I'm happy to be here on behalf of my tremendous colleague, the Honourable Navdeep Baines, who's the Minister of Innovation, Science, and Economic Development. And I too would like to acknowledge that we gather on traditional territories and we say thank you for the ability to gather. Thank you, Dr. Hauser, for your kind words. It is a privilege to be back here. I'd like to thank the University of Windsor for hosting us. Et merci à tout le monde ici présent à l'Université de Windsor de nous accueillir aujourd'hui. Thank you all for being here for this really great day. I cannot tell you how much it means to me to be back on campus. I loved my time here. I loved my students. I loved my research. And I so appreciated my colleagues. And I've stayed in touch with many of my students over the years. So this is really special, and I want to say thank you to you all. I want you to know that our government truly believes that the path to a better life is through education, research, and innovation. Notre gouvernement croit que l'éducation, la recherche et l'innovation ouvrent la voie vers une meilleure vie pour les Canadiens de la classe moyenne. Building state-of-the-art facilities, labs, and modern learning spaces is essential for research, skills, and innovation. And that's why our government invested $2 billion in 300 projects like this one through the Post-Secondary Institutions Strategic Investment Fund, because we wanted to renew research and innovation spaces at universities and college campuses across the country. That included close to $15 million for this new state-of-the-art, energy-efficient science, research, and innovation facility. It is 46,000 square feet. It is the Essex Center of Research. It's home to upgraded laboratories and collaboration spaces, and we know that there is leading research taking place here. I want to say, President, to you, your faculty, and your students, congratulations. It is a tremendous facility, and I can't wait to see it. Not only does this new facility provide our next generation of researchers an excellent place to learn skills and get the experience they need, it also supports economic development and job opportunities in and around Windsor. As a result of our investments here and in many other Canadian post-secondary institutions, researchers and students will be able to work in state-of-the-art labs. I want you to know we believe in science, we believe in research, and we believe what you do each and every day. Since we have taken office, we have committed $10 billion to science and research. It is the largest increase, it's the largest investment in research in Canadian history. I had one goal: to put our researchers and students at the center of everything we do. That means, do you have the funding necessary to do your research? 25% increase to the granting councils. Good news. Do you have the labs and tools necessary to do your work? So it's a $762 million investment in the Canada Foundation for Innovation. And finally, folks, after 20 years, there'll be predictable, sustainable, long-term funding for CFI. And as you've heard from Dr. Hauser, we have taken several steps to ensure that our research community reflects Canada's diversity, because a diversity of backgrounds, experiences, ideas breeds great research. Last month, we launched a program that's called Dimensions, Equity and Diversity and Inclusion Canada. It's a pilot program. It's inspired by the United Kingdom's internationally recognized Athena Swan program. Il s'agit d'un programme pilote inspiré par Athena Swan du Royaume-Uni qui est reconnu à l'échelle internationale. We want to ensure that everyone has equal access to opportunities, treatment, and recognition in our universities, colleges, cégeps, and polytechnics. This is a critical step for Canada, and it'll make our campuses better. I'd like to thank President Douglas Neill for signing the Dimensions Charter today and demonstrating the University of Windsor's commitment to an inclusive campus. I hope, President, that you will share the stories that you shared with me of the work that is going on in this campus. They were inspiring. Now, the last thing, my job is to thank all of you. Thank you for the work you do each and every day. Thank you for your research. Thank you for your teaching. And thank you for your service to this university, to our students, and to this community. Your research, your work matters tremendously. Know I am enormously grateful. And with that, I will say, I look forward to my next visit to a campus that I love. Merci.
Thank you, Minister Duncan. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Douglas Neill, Interim President and Vice Chancellor for the University of Windsor, who has proven to be a strong advocate of the Faculty of Science since joining the University of Windsor in 2015 as the Provost and Vice President Academic. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Neill.
Thank you very much, Chris, and welcome everyone. This is a terrific crowd. I don't think I've seen standing room only on the upper level before today, so that's wonderful. Bonjour et bienvenue. Thank you all for coming. As Interim President and Vice Chancellor, it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the official opening of this wonderful facility known as CORE. I'm going to say one or two things about CORE in a second, but I want to extend a warm, I could almost say humid Windsor welcome to Minister Duncan and your team. Thank you all for coming. Il me fait très plaisir de vous souhaiter la bienvenue aujourd'hui. Minister Duncan, as you know, is no stranger to the University of Windsor, having been a faculty member here for, I think you told me, 7.5 years. So it's a pleasure to see you again on campus. Welcome back. So as you've just heard, this is our Faculty of Science's new research and innovation facility, the Essex Center of Research, or as we're calling it, CORE. 46,000 square feet of purpose-built space for research, innovation, industry collaborations. It will provide our faculty and students with state-of-the-art labs for materials chemistry, biochemistry and health, materials characterization, and medical physics. And it also houses meeting rooms for discussion and interaction with academic and industrial collaborators. I have to add that every time I'm in this space, I feel that I'm in British Columbia. It has a very West Coast feel. It's all that serpentine, all the wood and the glass and the curves. I feel that I'm out west. It feels great. I want to thank the partners that made this project possible. Yes. Starting with, as Minister Duncan said, the Honourable Navdeep Baines. And this is almost like a coming home. Here we have a former professor, a faculty member. Navdeep Baines is a Windsor alum, MBA from the university. It was Minister Baines who came here 2 years ago and got this project off the ground to announce the federal funding for it. And it's wonderful to close that whole loop today, in a minute, to cut the ribbon with Minister Duncan returning. Originally called the Science, Research and Innovation Facility, this space was funded from the federal government, $14.95 million from the federal government, $2.56 million from the province of Ontario, and an additional $12.8 million from the University of Windsor. More than $30 million being invested in this space. So on behalf of all of us at the University of Windsor, I want to express my thanks for the support of our federal and provincial governments. This facility is the outcome of a successful multilateral partnership at federal, provincial, and university levels. And if I had to write out the formula for its success, no, wait a second, I want to correct myself. Not the formula, the equation for its success, because there's an equals sign in this. If I had to write out the equation for success, it would be aesthetically stunning space plus brilliant state-of-the-art functionality plus University of Windsor human ingenuity equals unlimited research potential. But speaking of formulas, the name, CORE, C-O-R-E, sometimes it's big C, little o, big R, little e, sometimes it's all caps. We got to land on something officially, Dean Hauser. I'm told that C-O-R-E is a play on two elements that are actually used in research here, cobalt and rhenium. Big C, little o, cobalt, and big R, little e, rhenium. And they are used, I'm told, in the very research that we are undertaking here. Now, however, if I were to give a street address to this building, I would call it 2775 Huron Church Road. Students, why 2775? Well, because those are the atomic numbers for cobalt and rhenium. Yes. But CORE, of course, also stands for Center of Research, and research is something central to what we do and do very well here at the University of Windsor. We have outstanding teachers, outstanding researchers, and wonderful programs here. This facility will become the nucleus of yet untold discoveries and partnerships and learning experiences for our students. And we're going to hear from one of our students in just 1 second. Let me just finish by saying something about dimensions and the charter. We are happy, we are proud to support and affirm the principles of this new charter. For many years, I think it's fair to say that the University of Windsor has been a leader in equity, diversity, and intentional inclusion. We are the fourth most ethnically and culturally diverse city in Canada after Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. We have been bringing the world to Windsor for many years. We represent among our students, staff, and faculty nearly 100 countries from around the world. So we are delighted to be able to support this pilot project that the Minister has brought to us. And with that, I'd like to turn things back to the Dean and to our student. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, President Neill. It is now my pleasure to welcome Kneale Bazi, a student in our Department of Physics. Kneale graduated from the University of Windsor this May with an honors physics degree and was awarded the President's Medal for her extensive volunteer work on campus and in the community while maintaining a high academic average and participating in undergraduate research. She is now pursuing a master's degree with Dr. Dan Zhao this fall in Essex Hall. Please join me in welcoming Kneale.
Bonjour, sorry about that. Bonjour et bienvenue. Hello and welcome to the Essex Center of Research here at the University of Windsor. It is a great honor to speak to you all today as we are celebrating the grand opening of this state-of-the-art research facility, period. My name, as Dr. Hauser had already introduced me, is Kneale Bazi. And I will be starting my master's degree this fall in physics under Dr. Dan Zhao. The lab space I work in is located just around the corner, just down the hall, room 108, and it houses a small but powerful MRI magnet unit that I use in my work, and it is also funded by NSERC. The Zhao Group's research interests are in quantitative magnetic resonance imaging and in the construction and development of a portable and affordable handheld MRI machine. We are also working collaboratively with other research groups on campus and in this building to help them with imaging and with quantifying biological systems, tumors, and the development of new contrast agents used in standard imaging procedures. I began my research career as an undergraduate and completed a thesis in this building using the facilities provided to me. As a soon-to-be graduate student, I am thrilled and honored to be part of this new development and to be able to pursue my work in a beautiful and well-equipped facility. Also on the first floor, just a bit further down the hall, there is also a NMR, or Nuclear Magnetic Resonance Suite, and they provide services to other researchers on campus to analyze and quantify their work using high-quality NMR spectrometers. Just on the floor above us is the hub of cancer research, where researchers are working round the clock to study circadian rhythms, genetics, and cell biology to aid in the ever-growing pursuit of curing cancer. And just above that floor is where world-class research is being performed in the ever-growing field of surface and materials chemistry. I speak for all scientists at the University of Windsor when I say that the work we do would not be possible without the generosity afforded to us at the institutional, the provincial, and the federal level. It is a multifaceted effort that, when combined, leads to a multitude of awards and accolades achieved by our science undergraduates, our graduates, our professors, and our researchers on the provincial, the national, and the international scale. The continued support of science at this university is an investment in our bright students and an even brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you, Leal. On behalf of the Faculty of Science, I would like to thank the University of Windsor, the Province of Ontario, and the Government of Canada for this important investment in science at the University of Windsor and innovation in the Windsor-Essex region. I would also like to thank Doran Meinhardt from HP Architects for the beautiful design of this building and Colliers International for managing the entire project. It is also important to recognize the artistic talents of our Science Meets Art, or SMART program, for the wonderful design on the blackboards today and almost every week that we have behind me. And to our guests, thank you for joining us today and remaining a friend and supporter of science at the University of Windsor. It is now time for the ribbon cutting to officially open Essex Core. Following the ribbon cutting, there will be an opportunity for the media to interview our guests, and I say to everyone here, take the opportunity to walk through the building and look in through the glass to every lab. The glass was designed purposely to make sure that science at Windsor was transparent and accessible to everyone. Please join us also for a light lunch and continue to celebrate this important moment for the University of Windsor. Thank you.